Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. In this body review, Martin is checking out my Ibanez Artstar guitar.
Today's body review is a little bit special for me because my main guitar is an AS153-AYS, a Gibson, a studio one, and today obviously this one will have to keep up with my main guitar, and yeah, I have to be unbiased by this, so this is not really an easy task for me because the best I can explain it is you get some cake, your favorite cake,
Made by your mom or grandma.
And someone else makes that exact same cake with a slightly different recipe, and you're just used to what your grandma or your ma has baked for you, and tasting the other thing might not be the thing that is fitting for you personally, but probably 100 other people prefer this one over my Gibson, for example. So
I think it was a good comparison with the cake, but obviously this is a semi-hollow guitar as well as the 335, but it's quite different, especially in terms of the overall look of the guitar. It has a lot of fancy applications, I'd say, with the binding, but we go to the specs a little bit later. Basically this one, it's an Ibanez, it's made in China, and it's obviously inspired by the 335 because it's the same body size, right?
Yeah, it's pretty much the same body size. The horns a little bit pointier, at least than my 335.
Yours has the Mickey Mouse style.
I think mine has the Mickey Mouse style.
A little bit rounder.
A little bit rounder. Mm-hmm. It depends on from era to era what the 335 has on these ears.
Should we talk about the specs first?
Let's talk about the specs.
Okay. As you can see, it has gold hardware, so the tuners are gold, and the pickup covers and the bridge are also gold as well. And we have block inlays with abalone, and it's more like a Gibson custom style with the blocks starting in the first fret, and the fingerboard or the fretboard is made out of ebony, which is a difference. One of the first differences, big differences compared to your.
Well, mine is not your typical 335 either, because mine has a maple neck instead of the usual mahogany neck on the 335, and mine has a roasted maple fingerboard. Yeah, so these are already quite some differences. Also, what we can see here is there is all around the guitar, there is the binding.
Yeah, it's 3-ply binding.
Yeah, which my studio doesn't have. My studio has a fake binding, what they call it.
This one even has binding around the F-holes, which is rather unusual.
Yeah.
Especially compared to Gibsons. I checked a couple of Gibsons to see if they have bursts that look similar like this. This burst, talking about the color now, is antique yellow sunburst, and I think Gibson calls it tobacco burst probably. It's not the same name, but it looks.
Yeah, I think for
similar.
the 335, the normal burst is just called sunburst.
Or just sunburst. But looks different, but yeah, this one's antique yellow. And it has flame maple top and sides and back as well. Maybe you can turn it around again. Yeah, flame maple all over the body. You can see now it has a 3-piece neck. Let me check again the woods. I have a spec sheet down here. The neck is mahogany and maple. Yeah, so this is a maple
piece in the middle.
Exactly, and 2 pieces of mahogany around. You can see it goes up till here, and then there are the wings attached. Apart from that, the pickups of course are very important. They're called Super 58. There's the stock pickups, and they are vintage inspired or vintage tone and should emulate the PAF sound. And we will find out if that's what you're used to from your classic 57s. What Martin also noticed before is that the bridge part here is special. It's let me check again. It's a quick change 3 tailpiece, and you can. It's faster for string changes. You don't have to put the string down here
through a hole.
Through the hole, exactly. You have slots here, so
you can just snap it in from the side and go over it.
Last but not least, the controls. The 3-way toggle switch is pretty much standard. You have 2 volume, 2 tone, and you have this little one here. This one is strictly for the neck humbucker. The way it is now in the back, it's in series, the humbucker, so standard humbucker. In the middle position, it's single coil sound, so it's coil split.
Yeah.
And in the first position or topmost, it is the humbucker in parallel mode. So this pickup has 3 different voicings, and yeah, other than that, it's just standard knobs and no push pull or anything else, no splits on the knobs.
Yeah, when we're playing, well, when I'm playing through this, I'm using Lucas's DSL20 with the high gain and the normal channel.
Mm-hmm.
Lucas will insert a photo again of the settings of the amp.
And as always, through the Harley Benton cab with two
vintage
30s. Yeah. I was just thinking about all the other speakers I have now. Any questions at this point about the guitar, about the specs? Or so far so good?
So far so good. Well, one thing I would like to note is you've modified it already a little bit because you removed the pickguard.
That's a good point, actually. There was a pickguard, but I didn't like the look of it because it also has this burst and the binding, and it was like this, and you can see it's just, for my taste, it's too much sunburst and the mixes here. So if it was just black and the
binding
around, I would prefer that. But with the burst, it was definitely too much for me, and I like it a lot better this way.
I will have to agree with you on that one. It's, for me, it would also be just a little bit over the top, but yeah, it's a matter of taste, obviously, again. And
the other mod was I changed the, what's it called? I forgot it.
The locking.
I
strap
put
locks.
The strap locks as a mechanism. Sorry, to attach the strap. And if you put it in the case, which is also included, it's Ibanez case. It's black inside, so you can see nothing special about it. But yeah, so it's pretty sturdy and nice to have it included. The guitar with the case and everything costs around 940 euros at the moment. I bought this exact one, I'm not completely sure, I think it was 4 or 5 years ago. This model is not exactly new. I think it came out in 2013 or maybe a little bit earlier, but definitely around that time. And yeah, let me just check again the fact sheets. It's always confusing with Ibanez, they have a lot of special terms. So the exact model name, hasn't been stated yet, is AS153-AYS, which is the antique yellow sunburst. It's part of the Artstar series, we covered that. The scale, we haven't talked about the scale, it's standard Gibson scale, so 24/3/4. And the frets, 22 frets, medium size, and they received the Artstar fret edge treatment. Because in my opinion, although it's a made in China guitar, which costs less than 1,000 euros, it has some of the best frets of all of my guitars. I think the fret ends,
I have to
perfect.
agree, they are perfect. There's really nothing to complain. Maybe you can make a close-up shot.
Yeah, I will insert a close-up shots just so you can see how they're rolled, and they're absolutely Perfect.
They're totally round, almost like ball ends, or yeah.
So all the specs have been covered. Now let's get to the sounds.
Okay, so let's start with the pickup that I'm using the most on my 335. That's the neck pickup. We'll have first the classic gain channel.
And the humbucker is in series mode.
Yeah, tone full up. So like this. Let's see more. Let's reduce the tone a little bit in that pickup. Now I'm at about between 5 and 6, something like this. Let's see. Let's get a little bit higher and a little bit more upper register. Maybe we hear it there a little bit more. I've turned it back to 10, as you might have noticed. It just takes a little bit of the edge. Now I'm back down to 2. Let's try reducing the volume a little bit. Getting a little bit back from the tone. See, I'm going on full on the tone and see what it does for the characteristics.
It doesn't get muddy.
No,
That's
it does not darken up like my guitar does, so eventually it has a treble bleed.
I don't know. Maybe because it sounds a little bit like it because it remains a lot of the treble.
Just stays pretty much the same all the way. Well, I've not made it all the way down, obviously, because then you don't hear anything. But yeah, I think I've went down. This is 4 now. It just gets louder. Can't hear it, at least in the room. Maybe on the recording we hear a slight difference, but in the room
It remains the same characteristic.
It's not recognizable. At least not for me.
Not much.
At least not for me. Well,
okay. Some single coil sounds. The ultra gain channel first.
The ultra gain channel. I have to add that I did not put up the gain this high on this channel.
It's more a medium gain channel.
It's more medium gain. Let's see. All on 10 again. Now I'm reducing the tone, going again between 5 and 6. I don't get that real women tone that I get from mine, or that if you remember, or the regular viewers might remember it when I've played your Les Paul through the bass breaker. I did not get that one yet.
Maybe with this switch.
Maybe. Let's see. I'm reducing now the volume with the Ultra Gain channel. I have now the tone on 0. So. It's still really bright, right?
Maybe switch the channel again. I would be really interested now with the setting, how the
Sure.
parallel. Gets darker.
It gets darker, more muffled than getting really darker. Now I'm taking the fingers. That makes it also softer.
Tone and volume on 10 now. Parallel mode. It's but you said it. It's getting a little bit more muffled when the tones roll down.
Yeah, it's very different actually from my guitar.
Yeah,
on that part.
Doesn't remind me of the classical Gibson sound or the classic 57 sound. Not really.
Yeah, also not from the Les Paul. That creamy tone you get, that's not here.
You can hear the hum now.
Yeah.
Single coil. The woman tone or the woman tone with the single coil position.
Eventually, yeah. Let's see.
It's getting closer.
Have you reduced the tone already?
No,
not yet.
Nothing. Just
Okay.
switch the.
With the fingers and with the softer attack, I'm having a very stiff and hard pick over here. I think we can get closer to it. Okay, so enough about the neck. I think, yeah, we can try the middle. On the middle we also can have these several different types of neck pickup with the bridge together. Now everything on 10. That was both with the humbucker. Now I'm switching to the single coil.
Yeah, neck is single
Neck
coil.
single coil, bridge is the humbucker. In comparison to only the neck. Gets a little bit more spank to it. Really like that one. And now the parallel. Again, only the neck as comparison.
Pretty different.
Yeah. I like that position.
That's single coil now.
That's single coil.
This one, single coil.
This one single coil and the middle, yeah. And the parallel.
No, this is not middle, this is just neck.
Ah. Okay.
This one's just. This is
the middle
parallel.
with parallel in the neck.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that one. Okay. Doesn't matter.
Nope.
We're moving now to the bridge. Okay.
Treble.
That's too much treble in the room here, at least.
Yeah, the Marshall has a lot of treble.
Yeah. The way we've set
well.
it up. So I'm reducing now a little bit the tone to
Take off the edge.
take off the edge. Now at between 5 or 6.
Needs to be rolled off.
Needs to be rolled off with the settings we're having right now. Yeah.
You look surprised. Did you like it? This one?
Yes, I liked it. It's more aggressive than I've expected.
Yeah, this one can rock out.
And yet, now I'm on the tone on 4. to mention the neck really feels great. It's a little bit thicker than the 335 that I'm having. It's might be imagination with the shape of it, but I think my fretboard is a tad wider, but it feels great.
Not too chunky.
Not too chunky at all. It's not a chunky neck. Obviously, as mentioned in the beginning, the fret ends are really perfect. There's nothing to complain at all about them. Well, if every guitar would have such fret ends, we could be really happy. Yeah, perfect. There's really nothing to complain about it. I'm not sure if it's the ebony fingerboard, but it feels smoother to slide than my 335. Yeah, so there is really nothing to complain about on that part.
I agree. I think that the build quality is top notch.
Objectively, it's probably the better guitar than I'm having.
Okay, I wouldn't go that far, but
from the playability, for most players, I would certainly say most players would probably prefer this guitar when they're playing it.
Okay.
So far.
Yeah.
Because for mine, I have a little bit more to fight it on the slides. It's just it glides a little bit better than my guitar, but that's really the main difference I can feel now from the playability. But that's also something you have to get used to a little bit. So you slide over it. The way I'm playing with my guitar, I have a little bit more to fight it. I like that as well. So
that's why a lot of people like Telecasters.
Yeah, it's not that I really have to fight it, but it's I need. It's not that easy going, so I overshoot somewhere. So it's something I would have to get used as well.
So after trying the different pickup positions and all the sounds that are in this guitar, what did you like most about it?
Well, obviously the playability, the build quality is really astonishing. Can't complain about anything about that. It's really a great playing guitar. Other than that, I really like the clean tones on it. It had some spanky tones that are really...
The middle position was
the
really
middle, great,
great sounds.
Especially the middle position, I really enjoyed the middle position, especially with these special kind of neck pickups, with it split or be it parallel.
Yeah, that was great sounding.
I really enjoyed these sounds of this guitar. Also, the aggressive bridge pickup with the gain.
I like it a lot for rock sounds. I'm a big Foo Fighters fan, and that's why I wanted a semi-hollow guitar that can also rock out.
That's certainly the case with this guitar. For me personally, when I'm playing such a guitar, you've heard me play, I'm more of the bluesy guy. I'm really a lot into B.B. King, and I did not get this B.B. King tone or be it Eric Clapton tone out of this guitar. What you haven't seen, I've played a little bit before we've made this video to set up the amp and see if I can get there a little bit. It's not much of a playing, just one lick over and over and just adjusting the amp a little bit to get closer to my liking. And yeah, it was just not possible to get one of those tones that you usually associate with a 335 style guitar.
I agree. I mean, I like the pickups. I like this guitar, of course. It's mine. But yeah, it doesn't really get like the same sound as the Gibson pickups. It's just different sounding.
It's very different sounding. I personally, here we're again with your grandmother's cake. I like the neck shape and the feeling of the nitro lacquer on
yours,
on mine a little bit better than on this one. It's just a tad, and it's really personal preference on that one. It's just a shape I'm used to. I would not trade my 335 for this guitar.
I would trade.
You would trade?
No, all jokes aside, I really like this guitar. I like the build quality. I like the looks of it. I think the flame maple top looks awesome. I like the burst, and I want to keep it. I really like it, and as Martin said, the build quality is excellent, and it plays great. And I think you can get the BB King sounds, but you need to tweak the amp more. But as you said, when we set up the amp, we just wanted to get a setting that suits all the different pickup positions and not just nail one specific sound.
But eventually it also has to do with the tone pots.
Okay.
Maybe it's just the tone pots, because we've noticed that the tone pots don't really change all too much of the overall sound of the guitar.
Yeah,
until you're about 2 or something, it did not much do to the actual tone. When reducing the tone, just taking a hair of the top end.
For me, it was really interesting to see you play or hear you play and all the different positions, because when I play this guitar, I mostly stay on the neck, and when I'm having higher gain sounds, distorted sounds, I'm switching to the bridge. But I'm not always fiddling with the tone knob as Martin does. My standard setting is the tone is on 7, 8 or full. So I'm not really lowering it a lot. I'm just setting the amp to where I like it and maybe adjust it slightly.
For me personally, I'm not really a fan of gold hardware. That's not too much of a problem. There's not all too much of it over here. So to switch it out, it wouldn't be much of a problem for this.
There are similar Ibanez models which don't come with gold hardware, so there are a lot of semi-hollows offered by Ibanez in this price range, or even a lower price range, made in China. And I'm not sure if they're still made in China. Probably are. Many semi-hollows are made in China, and they don't come with gold hardware. And I think this one's from the made in China ones. This was one of the high level ones, and the next step up would be the made in Japan semi-hollows.
Yeah.
But so they are much more expensive. Anything to say about this one? Any last words?
Great guitar. It's not really not 100% to my style. What I would expect from a 335 style guitar. When I would go looking for a 335 style guitar, this would not be my choice.
Mostly because of the sounds.
Mostly because of the sounds and the hardware. For me, the playing is not so important.
Fair enough.
But again, the playability, it's cheaper than my 335. More affordable than my 335. Cheaper by no means. Yeah, certainly on par with the build quality and with the setup, with the fret job. Nothing to complain about this. So if you like the tones, this one,
try it out.
try it out. So Lucas, thanks for having me checking out this guitar. I hope I was objective enough on this one. And
It's pretty hard to be when you're comparing it to your favorite guitar, but
yeah, that's really hard. But I hope I have not been too harsh with this guitar.
no, not at all.
And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it as well, and hope to see you in another video. Bye.
Bye guys.